ready for user interface madness. Nick Hunter is going to explode the user interface and user experience of the FileMaker platform. Do a deep dive on user interface and customer management. Tabs, slide controls, accordion objects, master detail. Your tour guide, Nick Hunter, will guide you through everything you need to know to be an awesome FileMaker user interface developer. So buckle up, hang on tight, because things are about to get crazy. Hello everyone, welcome to fmtraining.tv. Your video is now activated. You can now see us. Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of fmtraining.tv, where we have other people here with us today. This is the great Captain Nick Hunter. How are you, Nick?
Doing good, thank you.
And we beamed him on, but before we can spend too much time with Nick, we're just going to have to hide Nick because we have a couple other things we've got to show first. First, we've got to let people know about the live training schedule. So there's been some adjustments to the live training schedule. Basically, Nick has some project work he has to do for paying customers, and the paying customer's like, "Hey, Nick, when are you going to work on our stuff?" And we're like, "Yeah, I told Nick, you just can't do this forever." It's like, but I love helping people with their user interface. I said, well, you can help people who are paying the bill. So Nick's broadcasting of the UX UI will wrap on Monday. So yesterday was a lost. So normally we would wrap tomorrow. We were going to think about extending it the next week a little bit, but we have some other content we want to show. And so Nick will be wrapping up this new user interface project on Monday. It'll probably be a long Monday, so just warning everyone to pack your caffeine, have a coffee, have a snack, make sure you're ready for an extended kind of marathon, because I'm not going to tell him to stop. When he actually passes out unconscious on the camera, then we will let it stop at that point. So moving along, starting Tuesday next week, we're going to have Calvin. We're going to be covering the perform script with options. It's a JavaScript interaction. It was the update that came in with FileMaker 19.1.2 or whatever it was, 1.3. And so there was a new thing there. Then I have one of my junior engineers. We've been working on kind of a sideline project, an aviation project, but we're going to take some stuff out of that, and we're going to be covering it. And basically, if you can see the chart thing right there a little bit, basically it's doing these vertical charts. If that's the wrong button, I don't want to press that button. But basically the idea is that vertical chart with a little arrow thing kind of reminds you of the original Star Trek, not the Star Trek reference, but they used to have a bio, and if someone's laying in Star Trek and have a little like heart rate and blood pressure and little arrows going right. So it's that kind of dynamic JavaScript chart. And so we're using it in an aviation sensor application, but primarily it's about how you can use it yourself. And so that's with Andy, and he is one of our new junior guys who is like, yeah, Richard's a lot to handle, but yeah, we have him here. And then Jonathan Ray next week will be helping out some custom portal sorting, some other little alternate ways of doing things, some interesting stuff. So he'll be there Thursday and Friday next week to round things out. There's a whole schedule beyond that, but basically we're going to wrap Nick up on Monday. And the sample file he has, such as it is, will be provided. Yeah. So anyway, so good stuff. So we'll get going here, but I just want to say, so today, tomorrow, and then a big day to kind of wrap it up on Friday. Yeah. And Nick, are you going to show your improved interface? Because I've yet to see. Did you show your Star Trek interface yesterday or the day? Well, yesterday was off.
No, not yet.
You haven't shown it yet? Okay, because you guys are all going to be like, can I have that? And then, of course, you're all going to ask for it, and then none of you will use it on your own personal solutions because it's like, it is pretty damn awesome. It's one of those like, wow, this is really cool, right? Yeah, let me switch over here, Nick, to you. And then we have the upcoming schedule. Oh, as a reminder, for those of you wondering, please support the channel. If you want to support the channel, make sure that we all stay in business here and that we can keep paying the bills. Definitely purchase the training if you go to fmtraining.tv. Obviously, you have the live tab over here, live tab right here. You can see the upcoming schedule, but if you press the bundles tab right here, you can purchase a bundle. Very helpful when you do that. So that's my only in-flight advertisement that you're going to have. So we don't beat you over the head and shoulders. We assume most people here actually have our training. It's really good stuff. We do appreciate it as always. So, Nick, you are up to bat.
Yeah.
You were.
If you
I don't
you
know where
better you better buy some course, otherwise you get a photon torpedo on you. So, yes. So today's Star Trek theme. Yeah. Okay. Today's Star Trek. Okay. Thank you, acting Ensign Carlton. So we are going to raise shield, and we switch to red alert now. So things going to start, and so switch off the damn sound. So let's talk less and more action here. Okay, so last time when we left over, by the way, we got attacked by the crystalline entity.
Sorry. This is for those of you who remember this, right? Last time on Battlestar Galactica, right? You'd always had that voice, right?
Yeah.
Last time. Okay, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, it's Lonnie Green that is talking, on Galactica. I love that actor. I mean, I loved him.
There we go.
Yeah. So before we got attacked by the crystalline entity here in my city, so sorry for that. So yesterday, no internet, no light, no electricity, nothing, just the wind and the candles. And so here where we left over. Okay, we left away. Okay. It's people says that great, and we had some kind of a technique here using counting the values to get the thing to be activated, or for the mandatory things here. If I tap this, it's no longer red, right? So and now it's empty, so it get red. So to get this working in a very elegant manner, I use a technique to count the values. Okay, I'm counting the values, this value, this value, this value, this value, all the red values. They need to have a certain amount. If I don't have the amount, that means the record is incomplete. And somebody, I don't remember who, sorry for that, said, yeah, but if you copy paste something from outside that has multiple value, that breaks your stuff. And he pointed out a big bug, a design flaw on my side. And I said, okay, I cannot leave a design flaw on my stuff, right? So, and then Scott Kane said, yeah, and also you can also clear, when we copy and paste from something from somewhere else, sometime you get this, so you get this. Okay, and you get this and you get this, right? So you get the style and the font size and everything. And Scott said you can put an auto entry calculation. And I was talking about auto entry calculation, saying, okay, let's clean up this, right? Get rid of this and pretty much copy paste this. So that was an auto entry calculation that was doing this. And then I said, this is a Klingon design. It's not at all elegant Federation design at all. It's a Klingon design, so this is bad. So I said this because you cannot put an auto entry calculation on every single field. So you understand the problem here. You cannot put an auto entry calculation on every single field. And I said this, okay, not only a Klingon design, but a Ferengi design, which is even worse. So I said, okay, let's do something, and let's do something more elegant here, okay? And because I remember back a long time ago when I started learning design in 2012, that there's rules when it comes to get something with garbage returns. And when you want to paste it in an environment, in a box where you don't want the carriage return. There's rules for that. Okay. And here's the rule. What I want to do is when I paste the thing, so I paste this, I copy this, see, copy this, copy, and then I paste this, file, paste. I want that to happen. So I want the action of pasting to be a clean action. What I've done here, the action is removing the style, and at the same time is removing the carriage return and replaced by space, which this is the rule. When you copy something from an environment where you have carriage returns and you want to paste that in an environment that doesn't have carriage return or carriage return are not allowed, okay, you replace the carriage return by space. Okay, that's the rule, that's the guideline. Okay, so let's apply the rule. Okay, because if you cut and you get only the first, you lose data, and maybe you don't want to lose data, and people won't understand what's going on. When here, if I paste and I get this, you know, it's the best. So I want to show you how easy it is to get this done, and actually, and that's the reason why you come here. You come here because you give me a challenge. That was a challenge. It was a challenge against my own design and my own technique, and I was going to abandon that technique because I don't remember who, but he pointed out a fundamental, a big design flaw in my design. Okay, and that can happen because you cannot think about everything. So this is how it works. The paste has an option that says paste without style, which is something that got introduced some time ago. It's not a new thing. And if you look closely, the menu here, you have paste and paste text only, which that means paste text only is paste without style. Okay, so I'm using this in the paste script steps. It's the paste without style. Okay, now I set the field where I'm in. So here I'm not specifying any target field. When you do this, that means you want to apply the result inside the current field you're in, you know, the active field. And then I say, okay, I pasted the thing with no style. That means I have the carriage return, but I don't have the bold, the blue, red, green. But now I want this, and I'm substituting the carriage return by this and this, and now I have the same as what's the name? Goodness as an auto entry calculation. I could have done that with an auto entry calculation, but that is like I said, it's a Klingon design, because you have to do that on all your, but and you don't want to do that. It's pain in the blip, right? So if I use that now, I can go anywhere, and and I'm here in this field here, and I want to use this. I want to paste the thing, and this here has no auto entry calculation whatsoever. Yes, I have one. I say when it's empty, I want new account. So I already have one. I don't want to have one on top of another, right? But I want this to happen, and that happens, right? Nick, Rick, Max, no carriage return. Okay.
No carriage return.
So I think this is great, and of course it works well because it's very simple. There's nothing here, right? Paste and set field with a carriage return removal, which is very simple. Yeah, Kyle's, but Mr. Data, because Mr. Data said using copy paste functions, since they use a clipboard. Yeah, but how you can do the economy of this? I am in text edits, or I am in Excel, or I am in Word, and I copy this. How you can do that without using the clipboard? Please explain, Mr. Data. So okay, so yeah, I understand copy paste within FileMaker is not a good idea, but copy and paste from using those stuff, it's meant to be from another application to another application, and how you can not use the clipboard, right? So, and the paste text only, the Mac only option. Come on, man. Are you sure, Ed? Damn it. Okay, we need to check on this.
What's
Okay.
wait, what are we checking on? The copy paste
Ed Burkle said
copy paste text only.
it's a Mac only option.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Is it? I don't know. I don't have Windows in front of me. It doesn't show up on Windows. Yeah. Kyle's going to confirm that right now.
yeah, Mr. Data. He's no longer it's Mr. Data.
Oh, I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Data.
Mr. Okay, let me fix
Data.
that for him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They will fix that for him.
I'm fixing his nickname right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need to fix. Mr. Data, you need to run a level 1 diagnostic on your positronic brain. It's been contaminated by JSON. Okay, so now let's continue on this. This is was a parenthesis. I want to explain that you can have now a very comfortable kind of a new technique here. So you go there, you create a new, and you paste this, and you don't have a problem. And because you use the custom menu, and you can have your own menu here, and you can do your own paste command. And that's a great thing. So now let's explore a little bit more things about organizing data on the screen. And there's something I want to talk about is documents. Okay. First of all, I think we can no longer call documents. Okay. So we can call documents when they are. So we need to be. Here. I want to teach you about the glossary. Okay. Because as there's a glossary, we cannot get out of this because there's logic here. Documents is if you are confining. I know this is a word a little bit awkward today, but if you are confining your the container to receive true documents like PDF files, this is the document. Okay, a PDF file is a document. A scan is a document. A scan. Okay, I'm not saying a picture. I'm saying a scan.
Sorry, crunching eyes. Sorry.
Yeah. So those are documents. Like for example, I created at one point a section for in a solution where it was all about certification, proof of certification. It was for drivers, proof of certification, driving license, copy of the driving license, copy of their what's the name of the last kind of their if there's any court order, kind of a violation, traffic violation, stuff like that. They need to disclose that, so those are documents. There's no way they can have inside this an Excel file or a Word file or a FileMaker file or a Keynote file or a photo, like the photo of the kids last weekend. No, it was all about. So the section was called documents, but here, in that case, in the case we are talking right now, we can no longer talk about documents. They are files because they are files. You have XLS files, you have Word, keynotes, you have a FileMaker file, you have photos, you have PDFs. So you can no longer call that file documents if you allow a Word file in it, right? You know what I mean? So for that was again to try to use the right glossary. So here we are talking about files, can be anything, and that solved the problem. Okay, and that solved the problem. So and here how you want to do the. You remember when I told you you need the UI and then you have the workflow. So now let's talk about the workflow. And last time, when the workflow we call also the user experience. So last time I was talking about the user experience. Show me, don't tell me, show me. Remember that rule? Show me, tell me, show me, don't tell me. Show me the thing, but don't tell me what it is. Don't explain me. I don't need explanation. Show me. Okay. So and so how that works. Okay. Here, a brand new account where there's no files. So pretty much now I'm making the point, I'm showing you there's no file. So you see, when we say show me, in the show me, you have also hide me. It's more hide slash show, because things you don't show talks as much as things you're showing. You got the point? So when you don't show something, you are telling something. You know what I mean? So here, what you do, first of all, there's no files here. It's obvious there's no file, and I don't need to be, Mr. Data to understand that's what to do. I know what to do. There's one thing to do only, right? There's no files. I can add a file. That's the only thing I can do. So let's add a file. So I click here and I add a file, right? So let's add a file. I don't know. We can use. Okay, let's use this. Okay. So I want to add this file. So I'm adding the file. I'm adding the file here. Bam. So the file is added, and automatically, the software, I mean the solution, the application brought me directly where I need to be, where it is important, the title of the file. This is very important. So the title of the file is untitled, so I need to put the title. Okay, so see here what happened here. Let's redo. I click here and I select my stuff, and then I arrive directly where I should be arriving, meaning at the title. Okay. Yes, we could have arrived to the date and the type, but this is secondary. The first thing you want to do is to title this. Okay. Of course, if you remove the title completely, right, what is doing? Is doing this. Is putting automatically the name of the file itself. The file name is IU-31. This is a file name. So if you remove the title, you put by default, you put this. You cannot put a title empty. You never leave the title empty. Like you need to have a name on the title. So by default, I'm putting untitled. Okay, that one you create a new one. But then after that, you are on your own, and if you remove everything, you have the name of this. Is pretty much the natural. It's the natural kind of a basic guidelines, the rules. Okay, not the rules. Okay, so now you understand that something else. What I say wouldn't be default the title to the name file automatically. No, Miss Lobster said. Wouldn't you default the title to no? Because if you do this, that implies this is it. You don't. It's the title. That's it. And maybe nobody is going to go there to change it. When you say untitled, you are pretty much, you create a new folder here. You create a new folder over there. So see, when you create a new folder, this is what Apple's doing. Untitled folder free. So because you need to convey the idea, the sense of renaming it. Put a name. So if you have already something, you say, okay, this is it. This is it. I'm not going further. You understand the point. Now you want to put the name of by default. You are open to do everything you want. I mean, I'm just here to tell you what the rules are. Now after that, you're on your own. You can do whatever you can. Okay, but here I think it's more elegant like this. So I like to follow the rules on this one, which is very easy to do. Okay, so thank you, UK Lab. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I understand look, guys, I understand sometimes I'm going to hurt a little bit what you were thinking, but at on day 2 of this course, I said you need to forget about what what you know, and you need to forget what you think you know. You think things are great, but they're not, right? And sometimes there's reason why. Okay, so but here I don't want to spend all the webinar today on this. Okay, so but this is, you see the workflow, how the workflow is. So now I want to show you here a little bit this kind of construction here, where I have a lot of things going on here. There's a lot of things going on. First of all, I give you what it is. It's a JPEG. Okay, so automatically, if I change it, if you go there, you can see here it's a FMP12 file. It's a docx. It's a JPEG, PDF, PNG, and stuff like that. This is important to have them, to have this, because now we are educated on this. We know what FMP12 means. We know what docx means. We know what PNG means. Okay. So that first thing, I'm telling you pretty much the extension of the file, and then in parentheses, I'm putting you the size of the file. Okay. So that's what then you have the title. Then you have the type of, the type of the file, and then the date. I'm going to come back to the date later. And then I have the icon here, or I have the preview of the file if I can have one. Okay. So now, and on the side here, you have pretty much what the file is. Okay. The type of files, not the type of not this type here, but the type of the file itself. Okay. So I want to show you how we do that in a very elegant way and in a very easy way. Okay. So by now you should be like expert in get container attribute kind of function. Okay. And so we have a get container attribute session. So I'm not going to go back there, but here, what I want the size of the file, So this is how you get the file of the size of the file. I put a let, because then you understand more what's going on, right? So when you put the lets, it's great. So you have the field. So you select the field, because you can copy paste this and you change this and everything works. Okay. Then you have the attribute name you want to get. Okay. And then you get it, so you get the container attribute of this field with that attribute. Okay. So this is how you get things. Of course, all of those are on auto entry calculation. And sometimes people are saying, why don't put a true calculation? And I said, why? I said, because there's no way the size of the file can change during its time living inside the FileMaker container. Inside the FileMaker container, this file will never change. This information will change only if you replace it, if you replace the file in the container, or if you add a new file. When you create a new file, you add. That's it. So it auto entry calculation fits perfectly this thing here. So same for the name. Okay, same for the name. So here it's a little bit more complicated. Okay, and I need to explain to you why it's a little bit more complicated here, but I'm not going to go too far away. But I want to show you this. So the get container attributes T01A selected, and it's the container here. Oh, container here. Okay, and I want the attribute name all. So what we are going to do here, so this one is, you have only this, okay, on this one. Okay, so let's change it. Let's change to something more complicated, like this guy here. Okay, so here you have more. You have general, it's an image, and it's a photo, because you have it's taking from the difference between an image and a photo. A photo has been taken with a camera. An image, it's something you have created completely on the computer. Something that never been from a camera, has been from a computer only. It's something you go Photoshop, you draw a square, and you save as JPEG, that's an image. A photo, it comes from a camera. Okay, so that's the difference. So, so not only, so what we do to detect if this is a photo or this is an image, and general means something else, I mean, something like a file or something that it's just a file, right? This means files. If you have only image, that means it's an image created from the computer. And if you have image and photo, because you cannot have photo only, you have image and photo. So what we do, we detect what we have here. Okay, so the calculation here is doing something like this. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time here, but it's important I show you how we do. Then you can be inspired by what I've done here. So where's the size, the type? Okay, so here what I'm doing here. I'm counting how many parentheses, how many bracket, open bracket. Like you remember, you have general photo, and image. General image and photos started with brackets like this, and that's the only place where you have bracket in that in the string that there is out of the result of the get of container attribute. That's the only place where you have brackets, so it's easy to count them. You count them, and you get always the last one, and then you extract which word you have between that brackets. Okay, so that's what this doing. I'm extracting the word between the last brackets. So in order, for example, if I have general image and photo in a bracket, it will take photo. So you say, oh, that's a photo. But if you have general image, you say, okay, oh, it's an image because there's no photo. You know what I mean? So, and at the end, I'm getting the differentiation here. That's an image from a computer, and that's a photo, you know, and that's a photo. So image, see? So here, but you can fake a photo, by the way, by adding some metadata. If you have metadata inside the photo, BIM, a FileMaker counts that as a photo and not an image anymore. Okay, so sometimes it can be tricky. Okay, so now what is important to see, it's how this is articulated. Okay, it looks very good. I love this vision here. It's very clear. It's very clear what's going on here. And you can play. You know, it's important. You know, when you want to highlight something, but not too much. So you have you need to find the right combination between the accent color. Remember the accent color, the blue. It's the accent color. Don't overwhelm with colors. You know, don't you remember the Christmas tree? Don't overwhelm the color. So here you have a lot of information, but they are easy to identify because you remember when I was talking to you on the course number 1, the way you are laying down the data is how the people are going to perceive them. Okay, so obviously the title of the image or the photo of the file is important, right? This also is important, but it's smaller, right? But it's blue. So I have another kind of highlight, but doesn't crush. It doesn't crush. You know what I mean? You need to avoid the crush. If you put that in big red and this one is big green and this one is big, you know, and then if you have big stuff and then suddenly you want something that stands out even more, what you do, you put bigger, you know, and then you put a you know, flashy yellow phosphorescent yellow. Okay, so you need yeah, go ahead.
We do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready for a question? Like a real question. So here we go. Alpha Lima 92651 asked the question on Twitch: where should I integrate other subsystem layouts similar to accounts or context, etc., but not those into the UI UX design without cluttering things up. How would I be able to access other layouts when in accounts and contacts, etc.?
Be able to access all the layouts when in account contact. Yeah, so you have this here on the top.
Yeah, that takes you to those overall sections, right?
Yes.
But if you're in contacts, and we see these things here. If you're in contacts, your things here might be probably different, right, to some degree,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, so that's the related data. We are, yeah, I understand the problem here, and unfortunately, there's no way we can address that issue. Um, um, here, here we switch from context to context. Here, we see what's related. For example, here are the related contacts. So
It's structurally the same thing that's what's in starting point now. If you understand how FM starting point, it's just visually. This is way sexier, way more beautiful, way more. I don't know what to say about it. I went to my HR director and say, "Can I say sexy on TV?" And she goes, "She's seen your design." She goes, "Yes, Nick's design is very sexy." So she thinks it's sexy. I'm like, wow. So I can say sexy. So yeah. Visually improved. Yeah, no, but the HR person was like totally blown away by this too. So yeah. So yeah, but structurally from a hierarchical, it is still a relational database. It's still related kind of in a logical way, and it's very similar to what we have in starting point. It's just kind of different, right? So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, we can. I can add a title here on top of this saying that is related data. But I mean, I think when you will see, actually, you need to see. The question is great, by the way, because it's when you open for the first time an application, you have no clue about what's going on. So now, if the developer is good enough and he did a good job, after a few clicks and after you navigated here and there and you click there and there, and you click there, you start to get kind of an idea how things works, So we call that the discoverability. Okay, so the discoverability need to be high, need to be fast, and so you have what we say in the real estate business. I know that because I've been realtor in France for some time. In the real estate business, we said you sell the house during the 91st second, which 3 minutes. The first 3 minutes is where you sell the house. After that, you 2 minutes and a half. I mean, after that, you are. If you didn't sell the house there, you will never sell it, and it's true for 99% of the time. You have to, and that's the same thing for the software. If you cannot get at least a sense of what's going on the first couple of minutes, people will have problem with your software all the time. So
okay.
That's why
so we're going to pick up on that. I put two more clarifications. He says, so Alpha Lima 92651 says, let's say I have 10 more layouts than the current layout bar, the primary button bar. So I think he's talking about across here. So he has, say like he has these 6 right here, and he has like another 10. And if you had another 10, my inclination would be to do a hamburger menu on it, but I don't know.
Hamburger or something that I'm doing, very often, and I've done that a lot, and it's the FM. No, let's open the what's the name? The file from what's the name? The file from
Scott.
Scott. Yeah.
You're gonna get in trouble, Scott. Close your eyes. You're gonna show something you probably shouldn't show.
No, he knows. So, so these are problems. So the hamburger menu is something I'm going to use more in the future. Okay, so the hamburger is a great design, but here this one here is also a great one because
launch pad down the side, yeah.
So because you can have you have a lot of both have the same solve the problematic. Here the problem you have here, and it's a great question. It's a great design question. So I want to address it. When you have, let's say I have 15 buttons on the top here, you know that you have to replicate that 15 times, right? So if you have a change, if you change the word, if you remove a S or add something, if you add a section on this, you need to do that 15 times, right? Yeah. Or you need to do that even more, because maybe sometimes you have many layouts where you show this, right? So here the advantage is this is a portal, so you can scroll up and down, and you can edit your navigation here.
Yeah.
And you can see, and you can tell which one is on first and last, and you can change the name online on the fly, right? And you change the name on the fly and change here.
Right.
You can even change, and this is something people doesn't know very well. If I go to format here, and I said I want that smaller, it gets smaller as well. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Here you go. It goes bigger, but it's okay.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show something real quick, Nick. So I want everyone just take a breath. Nick, get something to drink for a second. So, Captain, take a potty break, just 2 seconds. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show something. It doesn't matter whether it's 17 or 18. Let me see if I can find this for you folks here. Where are the video training videos? Okay, so this is the opposite of the beautiful Nick interface, right? And so same exact problem, but mechanically, let's take all the aesthetics out of it. So when we manage all the videos for RCC, we used to have all the buttons across the top here. And every time I add another course, like a 17 course and an 18 course, we kept putting the buttons, or they were across the bottom. And so what we did instead is we created the menu one place on a layout, and then we access that through the card. So this is a card. It looks like a hamburger, but it pops a card. The card's all the way against the side. We set the, now this is still ugly as hell, but now instead of maintaining it up here, I maintain it in one place on one layout, and then it's shared through the card on the side. Is it ugly? Yeah. Does it work? Like here's the live stream data as we're producing, looking at things. It's like the ultimate trashy graphical. There's your highlight color there, blah, blah, blah. It tells it it's published. All the ugly stuff that goes on. But the point is that the same hamburger menu on every layout. So there's the idea is that you do it in one place and it's shared everywhere else. If I go up here to the top, here's the card. So this is the layout. So we adjust it here, share it everywhere, right? So it's a good trick, even if it's ugly. I want to say that, ugly. If Nick actually saw this, which he's supposed to be having a drink right now, if he actually saw this, he'd probably squealing from pain. But the concept is to not kill yourself with the interface. So, or with,
yeah. So but the hamburger is something I'm going to go more and more, because it solves a lot of problems. And actually, we can combine both. You know, we can combine the elegance of a portal with that you can rename very easily the button. You know, you have and you can reorganize. You can even add, you can even add a separator. You can say, okay, I want a separator, and you can even have a sub menu. You know, you can have a sub menu. You can also have something like expand. You know, you have, let's say you have the window popping up like this, and then you click somewhere and you have an expansion, for example. You can expand the window a little bit and show another layout. So I'm exploring this for quite some time, and it's very, very powerful, the hamburger. But we needed to have the card style window to get that working. We couldn't have that before, right? So
well card styles just came out to WebDirect in 19. So in some ways, it's brand new, right? Because
it came in 17, but this, for example, I created this in 2016. So it's 5 years ago, and we didn't have card style window, and the hamburger in the popover wasn't solving anything. Where the hamburger with the what's the name, the layout in a window, it's great because you call a layout, then you call first you call a context, right? And then you can click, and then you dismiss the window. So you don't need to adapt the context. Here, the flaw on this is that everywhere you go, you need to have a relationship that goes to the navigation table on each damn on
Yeah.
each damn context. I need a portal.
Yep.
So that means I need to create this, replicate again and again and again and again the same context to go to the same table. So the popover, the before we were doing the popover, the same thing here with a popover, but we had the same problem because the popover was showing something in the context, so you have to replicate the context all the time. Now with a CalStar window, we don't have that problem anymore.
Okay, so Alpha Lima has a follow-on question: is the hamburger or this portal that's in your is that in the Launchpad? Is that in the Launchpad? Because
Yeah, it's no, I don't have the hamburger nowhere.
so this
You know,
little piece right here is not in the Launchpad sample right now.
yeah, it is, but this is what it is. I don't have the hamburger. I don't have the.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the answer for Alpha Lima 92651 is that this is in the Launchpad file. He didn't say it that way. He said, "Is it in your lean design sample?" In the lean design sample is the Launchpad file. This is in there. You could do it like this way once again, which is a relationship and a portal, or you could do kind of something semi-similar with a card style window, which I think is simpler, and Nick I think says is simpler too. But he built this 16 years in FileMaker 16, but really before cards came out in what 17 I think.
17, yeah, it came.
But then
Yeah,
only in WebDirect at 19. So really, in a
19,
lot of
yeah,
ways, cards finally got finished in this last May. So
yeah.
yeah. So anyway, yeah. So the answer is it's kind of there, but we don't have a sample anywhere else.
Okay, so I will look because this is not difficult to do. By Monday, I will have this layout without this because I don't want to use that anymore. Okay, so the burger is the answer. The burger is the answer.
Yeah,
And by the same,
but you're hiding. Okay, so I would just argue. Well, we'll have a conversation about that. But you want if it's here, if it's okay. So you want things visible so people can discoverability, right? But
yeah,
if you have too many things here, it becomes unwieldy. I think
yes.
6 is fine. I wouldn't change 6, but you should be prepared to show a demo of
Yeah,
the.
exactly. Not only this, but that will fix also the problem of the comprehension,
Mhm.
which means contacts, estimates, invoices,
Eh,
product.
I just cringe on that. I
Yeah,
understand that, but it's yeah. So in terms of starting point, we'll have to talk about that because part of
yeah,
me
no,
is like it's
I
discoverability. Listen, you could put everything behind a hamburger menu. You could put this in a hamburger, this whole thing in a hamburger, this whole, and then you have
yeah,
like three hamburgers
yeah.
on screen. And it's
Yeah.
like, hey,
Look,
what's
I'm
here?
going.
She got three
Yeah.
hamburgers.
I'm going to build a demo, and then just for the demo. But
Yeah.
I agree we can keep that as a main navigation kind of thing. But a burger, in my production, in the future, and Scott, I'm not saying that I'm going to change yours, but in the future, I won't use my FM Launchpad anymore. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I
All
mean,
right.
actually, what I can do, I can make this, but it doesn't make sense because my new design, this is my new design right now. Because now I know okay, here's the problem when you create a design. Sometimes you create a design and it's a dead end. It's a dead end. Why? Is because yes, and I have the same problem with in my when I was at the university. People were coming with a freaking super nice design, hyper sexy and whatever. Yeah, it was nice with 10 fields and 5 buttons. But what happened when you have 60 fields and slides and buttons and everything were coming like ugly because it's not possible. It's too much, So and I know what this design here I can go extremely far. Okay, so I know that. So I'm going to use that, but doesn't mean that this is obsolete. I mean, doesn't mean this is obsolete. It's obviously the transition will be like will take some time, but now on I'm going to use that. If people loves it, I'm going to use it. And the burger is the solution because it saves time and money. That my only concern now is this, is how I can do something to save money to my customers. And this design is actually, I calculated that using this design, you save 30% of your time. That means 30% of your money in design time. Why? Is because it's extremely easy to implement. This one here, it was, let's say it was kind of easy, but you had a lot of things to take care of, a lot of bars and a lot of boxes and a lot of coloring stuff, and this carrot stuff here and the background here, and then you have here, I need a conditional formatting to get that to be highlight, to get a white and not grayish. Okay, see, this one need to be white now, not blue, otherwise you don't see it. So look, you had a lot of things to take care of. Here you don't have this problem anymore. There's absolutely no conditional formatting here. And look, I discovered that this is extremely easy to implement. So let me finish my stuff right quick. So you understand.
There's no rush. You're fine, Nick.
So you understand here the visual, the dates. Like I said, show me, don't tell me. Show me that as a date. Show me that as a date. I don't want the 01/12/ I don't want that. And here, show me the date. I have the space. Show me the date. And I understand what people will say. Oh yeah, but if I want to type manually, there's ways to do that also, and I'm going to show you later. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to modify this and show you how you can type the here and have the thing coming. Okay, I'm going to show you that. But most of the time we use the calendar and stuff like that. We don't, Anyway, so this is how it looks. Now, I want to show you what happens when thing doesn't happen. This is a problem. Your problem you have is when thing didn't happen. Okay, let's say I'm going to add a file. I'm adding the file, and in the middle of the process, I want to cancel it. Okay, I want to cancel. The problem here is that if I cancel, okay, this means it's broken. The record's here, but now I have no file, and it is very easy to identify that I have no file. Okay, the icon says broken because I have a file record, but with no file inside, so it's broken. Okay, so now it's obvious that on those I have one thing to do is to select a file. Okay, yes, I know we can drag a file also. I can combine both, but I want to make sure that you understand, so I remove the box on the bottom. Okay, we could do both, drag and select. Don't worry about it. But so now you see you have a visual. You show the people. Don't tell me don't tell me oh, this is broken and you need to select. Do you want to select? No, we don't care. Show me. So now I select my file, and I can select this, and boom, I have my file going on. Bam. Right? So this is when things doesn't happen, right? So now when you remember, so you need to show the things when they need to be displayed. So when something didn't happen, that means something broken. When something's broken, show it that is broken. Don't try to hide it. Don't try to be smart and say, okay, oh yeah, it's broken, but I'm showing you that it's not. Okay, so no, show it's broken, and make sure that people understand what they can do. For example, export this. So you have one button, export. You don't have export, insert, delete, replace, change, move. No. You have one stuff. If you want more things, like let's say you want to print, let's say you want to open it in a bigger window and stuff like that, you start having the menus here. Okay, so the menus. So remember what I talk about, sorting, plural sorting, thing like this. I'm eating my own dog food, by the way. Okay, and here what I have this design here. Say, okay, oh, show me the files. show me the files and the photos. Oh, I don't want the file. I want the photos and image. See, you can add and remove thing here. What about what's the name? The sorting. Again, I'm eating my own dog food. I'm using the technique for sorting polls, and with this great design here, right? So I want by size is by size, the biggest on top and then the smallest down. Okay. I want by date, the latest on top and the other one on the bottom, right? So it's and the title it's alphabetical. So you see, because of this design I have here, you can have kind of something smart like this. In this condition, most of the time numbers that means size and dates that means the date of the file, you want them descending. 99.99999%, you want the latest on top. Okay. The text indeed, the text you want it to be on the contrary, the text you want to be alphabetical. So now it's ascending. See, that's why this is great, because you can play with this a little bit. You can be smart with this and come and do whatever you want to do without complications. Okay. So before we go here, and before tomorrow, I'm going to show you something like this. We are going to talk about this, about searching. Okay. So this is what I'm going to lay down tomorrow about searching records here. Yes, you can omit. Yes, you can include. You can omit, include, etc. Yes, you can do that. So but to finish this, okay, you need to have some. You need to get. So here's the difficulty on this file. This was taking me some time because I didn't want just to make a something that looks good, but I wanted only also something that behave good and easy to implement. So everything I teach you during those courses, I'm using it. For example, if you use a smart technique of the get object attributes, okay, you can decide which field you want to sort on just by typing the title, the name of the file of the field in the name of the button. If the name of the button, typing the name of the button will automatically adapt and sort by that field. Why? Is because the name of the field is what I'm using in the technique here of this sorting here. This is I'm sorting that by getting the name of the field. Okay, so just you need a way to send, to pass the field on the name field, the field name, to the script. And the best way to do it is just typing the name of the field on the button, and the get object layout attributes get the name of the button and use that as the name of the field. So that means if you have the construction the way it is now, right, you just have to type the name. Same thing here, using name with 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4. What that helps? That helps that you can replicate many times. Like if you want to replicate this, you have to pretty much name it 8.5, okay? And you can copy paste also from one layer to another, and it's still working. So when you will have the file on hand, you will learn about this, get inspired by what I've done here, and you will see it will save you time. And everything is a continuation. It's a continuum between the beginning and the end of the technique you use, and everything the one technique you use it's here to help the other technique you're using, right? So, and then you have a chain like this, right? So if you have question, and then we can we can beam up the away team.
Okay, yeah. No, I think there was a little bit of a conversation on YouTube that was going about, hamburger menus. I would simply say the hamburger menus, it used to be that Apple would refuse to use them. And then they do solve certain specific problems when you have too many things on the screen, right? And so then Apple started using more of these, but it was pretty big, ugly conversations. That you're not a designer if you use a hamburger menu. You're a lazy designer if you use a hamburger menu, blah, blah. I think here's the thing with hamburger menus is that they hide things. Now, maybe you have to hide things because you have too many things. But you don't want to hide things just to hide them, right? You use them because you have too many items, or you want to put something on the screen that is not, you don't want it easily discovered, right? Like this one's here because guess what? Amazon has too much crap to fit on the screen. But if Amazon only had 4 items here, they wouldn't put them and bury them down here. They'd put the 4 items across the screen here so you could find them, right? That's your definition of how you're going to do it.
The advantage of the burger, but we can continue the conversation tomorrow. The advantage of that's why I want to implement it. And okay, don't talk about that. Let's wait on Monday, and I'm going to implement it by Monday, and I will explain the reason behind it. But you're right. I think here on starting point, we don't need to we don't need the menu. We don't need the hamburger menu because we have only 6 buttons here. Now, if you have, as I said, you have 20 buttons. This paradigm here is no longer valid, and this is another law on design. And before we beam up, so the law on design is simple. Number is a quality. Okay, so what that means? The number is a quality. When you have 2 buttons, you don't deal the problem when you have 2 buttons versus when you have 20 buttons. You don't deal the same problem. You don't deal the same way when you have 20 records or 2 million records. It's the number is the quality. That means the number will drive everything. The number is golden. That is, by the way, this is the real law. That number is golden. You have 2 users, okay, Mac Mini it's okay. You have 200 users, you need a freaking big Amazon AWS, big, fat, and super powerful. Okay, so you have 20 records, that's fine. You have a floppy disk is okay. You have 2 million records, you need a freaking SSD. So the number is golden, and in design, especially in design, the number is golden, right? So, but we can continue the conversation tomorrow. So, okay, Ensign, acting Ensign, we ready to beam up?
Yeah, that'd be fine. So Alpha Lima 92651, whoever you are, great. Glad you're here. That's a good question. Glad we have the interaction going on. A lot of conversations going on today. Tomorrow we're going to pick up the conversation. So tomorrow, Friday, and then Monday will be the last 2 days of the super duper amazing Nick broadcast in terms of him doing the user interface stuff. So we will be kind of winding that down and landing that. The sample file will be made available in all its great glory on Monday. And then of course, Nick is going to go back and do like normal human work. And some other people will be taking up our positions and doing training on various different topics. Once again, if you want to see the topics, you go to fmtrain.tv. You press the live button, and you can see the upcoming broadcast schedule, which is really wonderful. So that's it for today. Appreciate everyone. If you have offline questions, you want to ask us questions, ask Nick questions, or need a general, like someone emailed the other day. It's like, hey, how do I install FileMaker? I don't understand how the license key works. Yeah. Just send us an email to support@rcconsulting, support@rcconsulting.com. The tech support team will see it and triage it. If it needs to go to me or goes to Nick, they will forward it as necessary. So that's it for today. I appreciate everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, you didn't beam up.
There we go. There's the beam up button.
Mr. O'Brien.
guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.